So it's been a big week so far for Duel Links, right? Of course, we have the new mini box coming for Speed Duel with Egg Sisters and Ancient Gears and Pendulum. All of that's being well received, I think. We've got new ranked reward cards that are really good in the Secure Guard and Al Mirage, two really good cards for Speed Duel. The Rush one, not so great, right? But overall, good stuff. We've got Chronicle chips now in the game, which were rumoured for a long time now, and this is cool, right? Getting full Starlight and Rainbow Borders available via the card trader. A bit RNG, and the fact it seems to be taking quite a while to get these chips is not great, but it's still better than not having them available at all. That's also really cool. But we've got some stuff to go through for May. First of all, of course, is the updates now. I didn't cover this one because, again, it's just kind of boring, right? We're getting a Wave Duel Scramble, a Rush Duel bonus trial, and we're getting Vector coming as a raid event in mid-May. And that's kind of it, right? It's not the most interesting month in the world. Now, Vector is a really cool character in terms of sexual story, right? It's a main part of that, but in terms of unlockable character, in terms of what card he could bring, it's not really that great, because all he has as his rank 4 boss is probably going to be Masquerade. Now, this is a really good card right now. It's GC playing Raziel, it's a negate rank 4, does require 3 materials to summon, so a little bit tough to summon, but overall, it's pretty good. Now, his main deck, though, is going to be Umbra Horus. Now, these are complete and utter dog shit. No one is going to see these cards see play at all. Knife's going to make a really good skill to kind of push these in the right direction, but I don't think they're going to get there. I think that Vector's going to be one of those characters that just kind of exists for the sake of existing, needs to come for the story to get Marin and Nash and eventually Don 1000, and those will be kind of the big key characters, especially, you know, Nash and Don 1000. But him coming is still cool, just not overly exciting for new cards and skills, but we are getting some Zexal love in the World's campaign, and we'll talk about that in a minute. We've then got some changes happening to card images now. These are being changed to basically turn the lightning in the background from purple to blue. That's basically it. Now, we know it's happening on May 15th. And so that means we've got a Rush box on May 15th coming, we've got a Rush structure coming on May 9th, we've got a Speed structure coming on the 17th, and then potentially a Speed main box probably around the 18th, 19th, 20th, around that time. And so if you are a player of both formats, it's going to get very expensive. That's even without potentially getting, you know, an anniversary box with reprints or tarts, or a selection box for Rush Duel as well. That could also happen because it happened last year. The big campaign is split into two parts, starting first of all on May 9th with the Rush Duel side and the general rewards. So yes, we're getting UR Dream Ticket, SR Dream Ticket for both Speed on Rush Duel. They've not killed them off. I know some people are kind of worried because recently it's been all SR Dream Tickets, and so it is cool to see we're getting some Chronicle parts that are Crystal and Gold, I believe, so kind of the worst ones to get. Box chips, gems, all cool, skill tickets and whatnot. The big thing though is a brand new structure for Rush Duel and March of the 7th Road as a promo card. That's pretty big. Then for Speed Duel on the 17th, we're getting more gems, again more tickets, but also we're getting the Utopia Ray Victory, and we're getting a structure of Utopia as well. And so we're getting two big anime themed drops, and so does that mean potentially we'll get 2 animations this year rather than 1, because the skill is specifically for Zexal 2, and we know we have Zexal 1 via skill, and so it would make sense to get 2 animations, one for the Master Sense Paladin, one for the Utopia coming, and that'll be pretty cool. Now, in terms of the brand new cards for the structure, of course, we've got the new 7th Road Witch coming, which looks really cool. First of all is the Marshal 7th Road, which is a fusion of Witch and Magician, and this is neat because I believe it's our first real big continuous effect fusion in the game, and it just becomes really big, right? With, you know, getting a tap pointer, Dark Entry spellcaster, and a graveyard with different names, that's cool. But also, if there's 7 or more Dark Entry spellcasters in a graveyard, they don't have to be different names, they could be the same name, this gains piercing damage. And so this can become 4,000 plus tap points really quickly, and can be a game ender, which is really cool. Plus we're getting a skill that all kind of works to search things out with this, and so that's going to be really neat. Then in terms of other new cards in the box, we've got the 7th Road Charm Witch, which works with your Strange Cat and some other stuff we might be getting, which would be cool if we do. It can change battle position, it can gain piercing damage, and if there's 7th Road Magician in your graveyard, it is protected from card effects, which is really big. Of course, widespread being somewhat prevalent right now, and so this is a good kind of counter to that. Now, it does depend again on what else we get, because at the moment, I don't think these two cards make 7th Road really top tier. I think they need some more, and potentially they might get that. Now also, we're getting Warlock, and Warlock is a level 5, which is kind of annoying. You've got to send Trap Fiend out to Graveyard, which we know Konami don't like giving us trap cards, and so even though we could potentially see Dark Revelation, which would be bonkers if we do, please don't do that. I think we'll get a Curse Box reprint, that'll kind of be it. Access to a 7th Road Magician in your graveyard, which is pretty cool. Then if you do 7th Road Magician, you can add back a Witch from your graveyard as well. which is pretty cool, right? You can then go summon the Witch, discard a card, summon Magician, 2 bodies, make your fusion plays into your Master of Seven's Paladin or whatever it is, have big attack points. You can see the kind of game plan forming already. Now, in terms of cards that we actually use to make our Cat Witch, it is the moment only going to be the Strange Cat, but I hope we see some more cards potentially being the Fortunate Cat, or ideally, probably Strange Cat Witch, which can bring back your Charm from the graveyard, add a fusion, summon out your Witch, and so I think this card in particular would be really good if we get it, which means we probably won't. Now, we are expecting a mini box as well, right? We're expecting a box with Luke stuff for dragons, for some Zuijo stuff, and Yudia stuff as well, and so in terms of Rush Duel, on May 15th, probably, is going to be a really big day. Now for Speed Duel, we know we're getting Ray Victory, and it is an Ancient Gear Golem, right? You're attacking your opponent like their back row, that's cool, and it can negate all face monster effects and gain attack points, so it is kind of a one-hit punch game ender, which is really cool. We've got to see how the skill works to kind of make Utopia a bit better for this card to be really good. Also in the structure deck, we're getting Utopia double, which means 10k attack Utopia is going to be happening, and it's going to be cheesing people really, really hard. Now, it does mean you can go for your Ray Victory though. So you can go for your double into Ray Victory, and then just not use the effect of double or nothing in the battle phase, because you've got to use the OG Utopia for that one, I believe, and then maybe there's another one that works this, it might just be the OG though, and so I think overall, at the moment at least, you know, the Rush side looks way more exciting, right, just because there's more of it, right, and so we have got an app update coming on, I believe, May 9th, where we're going to get skill leaks, for example, for the speed stuff happening later in the month. It's going to be a really, really bizarre 24 hours, right? You know, we're going to log in on the 9th, right? We're going to get the campaign, get a structure deck, and then a few hours later, it's going to be an app update to give skill leaks for the speed stuff. You'll know very quickly on that day if you want to kind of go all in on the Rush stuff or go all on the speed stuff, and I imagine for most people, it is going to be going in on the speed stuff, right? And for the Rush stuff as well, we have got that balancing coming into effect on May 7th, where finally Guy will be dying, you'll see a lesser presence in Dragius and Psychics, and so whatever comes in this new mini box we're getting, for example, or in a selection box, hopefully is going to be good enough to shape the metagame a bit more and be a lot more fun. And of course, Road Towards campaign is just, it is a good time for Duel Links, right? Just for logging in, getting cool stuff, and usually there's a little bit more than this, right? There's usually some other missions, right, for some pack tickets, for example. We know we're getting a Rush Duel trial as well, which of course will have more pack tickets, more gems, etc. So it is going to be a really good time to log into Duel Links, and that's happening in a few days' time now. So look forward to that one. Anyway, that's me done rambling. Vector coming, again, cool, again, character-wise, but in terms of cards, not so great. Road Towards campaign is a banger. Thanks for watching. Adios.